confusing confidence for intelligence. Let's say you're talking to someone. Suddenly, one guy starts talking, completely sure of himself, and suddenly everyone else just nods along because he sounds smart. But confidence and intelligence are not the same thing. Some of the dumbest people on earth are also the loudest because they're too stupid to realize they're stupid. People with low intelligence confuse the feeling of being right with actually being right. They'll give opinions like they're gospel truth, and if you challenge them, they'll double down harder. But smart people usually sound less certain. They'll say things like, I could be wrong, but here's how I understand it. But to the average ear, the loud, confident guy wins, even if he's confidently explaining that pigeons are government drones. That's how you end up following the guy who thinks eating raw onions cures depression, treating opinions as facts. You know those people who confidently post stuff like, coffee stunts your growth, fact, and as if writing the word fact makes it scientifically bulletproof. Low intelligence often shows up in the inability to separate opinion from objective reality. Here's an example. Imagine you say, I don't like sushi. Cool, that's an opinion. Totally valid. Nobody cares. But then someone else jumps in with, sushi is disgusting. It's objectively bad food. Hold up. That's no longer an opinion. That's trying to make your personal taste into universal law, and that's how dumb habits slip in. Smart people understand the difference. They'll say things like, I prefer action movies, but I get why people love dramas. That shows mental flexibility. It's like saying, this is my lane, but I see yours. People who can't separate fact from opinion also struggle when you hit them with actual facts. You could show them data, charts, peer-reviewed studies, Neil deGrasse Tyson himself popping up in their living room, and they'll still go, well, I just feel that the earth is flat. Neglecting sleep. Most people stay up late scrolling, watching Netflix, or pulling an all-nighter because sleep is for the weak. And let's be honest, some people love bragging about how little they sleep. Oh, you got 8 hours. Cute, I had 3. That's not genius behavior. That's your brain slowly face planting into the carpet. Here's what actually happens when you don't sleep. Your brain can't take out the trash. All the junk thoughts, useless memories, and bad decisions from the day just stay there. So instead of feeling sharp, you're basically running yesterday's garbage on repeat. Studies show that even mild sleep deprivation makes you function like you're tipsy. People with high IQ always keep track of their sleep and make sure they're getting enough because they know sleep is fuel for the brain. Avoiding alone time. Like, if they're alone for more than 30 seconds, they either pull out their phone and start scrolling or turn on their TV and start watching Netflix just to avoid hearing the sound of their own brain. People with higher intelligence usually need and enjoy alone time. And by alone, I mean alone with their thoughts without any distractions, like phone or TV, because thinking requires actual focused thinking. And that doesn't happen when you're constantly drowning your brain in TikToks or texting people. Spending time alone forces your mind to process things, to reflect, to problem solve. Low intelligent folks avoid this like the plague because to them, silence is scary when your thoughts sound like elevator music. Blindly following instructions. Smart people question things. They'll ask, can we just do it this way? But someone with low IQ, they don't think much. They just follow instructions blindly, even when the instructions don't make sense. Blind obedience kills creativity. It kills problem solving. And worst of all, it makes you easy to manipulate. Because if you'll follow instructions without thinking, someone's eventually going to hand you bad instructions and you'll march straight off a cliff with a smile, living on small talk. Now, don't get me wrong, small talk has its place. It keeps things smooth. But if all you ever talk about is surface level nonsense, that's not just boring, it's a sign of low mental depth. Intelligent people crave substance. They want to talk about ideas, experiences, maybe even philosophy over tacos. People with low IQ just want to rehash the same 3 topics on loop until you feel like you're trapped in Groundhog Day. And the worst part, they think it's socializing but it's really just verbal cotton candy. Looks fluffy, but there's zero nutritional value. So next time you're in a conversation, drop a slightly deeper question. Something like, do you think technology is making us happier or lonelier? Falling for conspiracies and superstitions. And it starts small. Don't walk under a ladder. It's bad luck. Okay, harmless enough. Then it escalates. The moon landing was faked by Hollywood. Next thing you know, they're sending you YouTube links titled, The Earth is actually a donut wake-up sheeple. You see, critical thinking is exhausting. It's way easier to say, there's a secret shadow government pulling the strings, than to actually read a boring economics paper. Superstitions work the same way. Instead of understanding probability, someone just says, well, Mercury's in retrograde, so that's why my Wi-Fi sucks. Like, no, Your router sucks because you bought it for $12 in 2009. Intelligent people aren't immune to conspiracies, but they check sources, weigh evidence, and usually stop before they start wearing tinfoil hats. Low intelligence people, they love the drama. The idea that they're in on the secret makes them feel smarter, ironically. Falling for these things doesn't just make you sound silly, it makes you vulnerable. Refusing to admit ignorance. As in someone who cannot, under any circumstance, say the words, I don't know. Ask them about anything, quantum physics, the stock market, 14th century history, and they'll just start making stuff up like, oh yeah, the Great Wall of China that was built in the 1600s by Vikings. Smart people admit gaps. They'll say, I don't know, but I'd love to learn. That humility is a flex. Treating animals or people without empathy. Here's one that surprises people. Lack of empathy often ties to low intelligence because empathy requires imagination. You have to picture someone else's perspective, feel what they feel. That's a higher level mental process. If someone kicks a dog, mocks a struggling coworker, or laughs at misfortune instead of helping, that's not toughness. That's low IQ showing. Building relationships, trust, and respect gets you way further than acting like a cartoon villain. Being too loud. Some people think volume equals intelligence. They dominate conversations, interrupt constantly, blast their music in public, shout into their phones on the bus. Smart people know when to turn it down. They listen, they measure their words. Low IQ folks think life is a competition to see who can be the most annoying human megaphone. Chronic multitasking. Like we think, I'm doing 10 things at once, therefore I'm a genius. Multitasking isn't intelligence. Scrolling Instagram, listening to a podcast, checking your fantasy football stats, and reheating pizza all at the same time. Sounds impressive, right? Wrong. You're not multitasking. You're just doing 5 things badly while your pizza gets cold. Low intelligence confuses activity with achievement. They think that being constantly busy, frantically switching between tasks is a sign of capability, when really it's a sign of brain scatter. If you are still watching, congrats. Anyways, thanks for watching till the end and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And also maybe subscribe if you want to keep watching my upcoming videos as well. And take care and see you in the next video.